Good afternoon to you all, and thanks for all the great work you have put in. Great presentation from you, Brian. Our next story focuses on the mental health support program Western Sydney Partners in Recovery. It's a reflective piece focused on the staff and how they experienced their first year of the pioneering program. Partners in Recovery is a national program focused on the path to recovery for people who have chronic and severe mental illnesses and who have complex needs. Today we are focused on the WISE employment team who are based in the Auburn LGA but cover the whole of Western Sydney. Auburn is an area which has over 150 cultures living in one suburb. Given the political challenges around the world, we think it's hopeful to see everyone living together and finding a way forward. Auburn reportedly had an amazing local council who took a pivotal role in connecting people with services to achieve their goal, uplifting its community and keeping it connected while offering as much education as possible. The WISE team state that the council definitely extended its resources and its networks, and that during their last few years working together, they really appreciate it. The local police also reportedly welcomed the PRR team and found a way to be mutually supportive. During the initial stages of the program startup, the WISE team reported that Auburn did not have a shared language around mental illness and its symptoms, let alone imagine how recovery would be possible. This was confirmed during the research conducted by former WISE team Brooke Smith. Brooke did her thesis on mental illness and Arabic language culture. One conclusion was that most language or a way to describe mental illness was that a spirit had overtaken a person. Many other cultures seem to agree with this statement and comprehension of mental illness. The team in turn tried to promote mental illness and connect with the Youth Association program in Auburn. They did this by organizing a Run a Manhattan's Tea Party where education was the focus. We combined youth and adults to start the conversation. It turned out to be a fantastic event, and we heard that the tea was set up pretty well. The WISE team discovered the area did not have a way for workers in mental health field to gather together and share resources and support each other. So the team went to work and formed the first ever Auburn Mental Health Interagency, which is now going into its second year. Statistics indicate that Auburn has an alarmingly high rate of suicide, and when support facilitator Cindy Farwell was invited to be on the steering committee of the Auburn Together for Hope initiative, she took up the invitation. The steering committee was an exceptional opportunity for her to find a way into the community by building relationships with major stockholders in the community. Auburn Together for Hope is now organizing its third annual Candlelight Walk Along the Main Street of Auburn, which has attracted sports stars, the mental health commissions, and various leaders and various religious leaders in the community. Let's cross now to Cindy Farwell, who will run us through some of her highlights and reflection on what it was like being a part of a brand new international mental health association program.
What I found about the most rewarding thing about being a support facilitator was helping someone realize and remember that life can be different, that their life can change, and that with the right amount of support, it can happen for them. And being with someone and helping them connect to that part within themselves where they start to connect back to hope, to gain a bit of momentum and a bit of motivation to take the steps so that their life can begin to change into one that they would enjoy having. So when someone's imagination starts to be activated, they start to see themselves through your eyes, and they like what they see. They like how they start to begin to feel. It's in that the magic happens, and they realize that recovery is absolutely possible for them. And at times, some people had thought that was never going to happen for them. So I think it's an absolute privilege to be with somebody and help them reconnect to the motivation of having a life that they think amazing, or they think is much different to the one that they have and would really enjoy waking up to each morning. So I totally love that part of my role. The second thing I found most rewarding would be conquering Auburn. This area is a challenge in terms of over 150 cultures. So for us, a new program to connect to the existing system was a major challenge, yet our team persisted and we turned up. We knocked on doors and they let us in. So that in itself was an extremely moment of success for our team. And the last thing would be conquering how to use a GPS. I now know how to use one, and I now don't even have to use it. I know how to get to some places in the West without it.
Thanks for that, Cindy. Some truly thoughtful insights. Now we will cross over to the newest support facilitator of the WISE team, Douglas Mendoza, who has had the unique experience of working with partners in recovery in his role as Patterson's Whitlam worker before committing to the role of a support facilitator.
Thank you for having me, Hawa. Yes, I'm the new member of a very dynamic team within the Western Sydney Partners in Recovery with WISE Employment under the leadership of Cindy Farrell. Previously, I've worked with Patterson Whitlam, which is a service that caters for people with intellectual disability within the western suburbs. Joining WISE Employment and the Western Partners in Recovery has been a really great thing for me. I've gained my experiences in terms of the mental health. I've broadened up my horizons in terms of what we do, and I was really excited with the way that we focus on the recovery approach for each and every consumer that we work with. The training that we had with Western Sydney Partners in Recovery was very unique. It equipped me that I'm able to help many consumers with their journey, work with them side by side until they recover their full journey.
Thanks for that, Douglas. A unique position to be in and a wonderful insight into recovery. Lastly, we would like to hear from Justice Peacock, a supports facilitator with multiple talents and is referred to as a consumer whisperer. He has had over 10 years working with people with challenging behaviors and dual diagnosis. He would like to share a few of his consumer success stories.
To be part of this wonderful team of WISE Employment and as all partners in recovery. You know, I'm that kind of person that I look into things and I say, inability to do something is not disability. Everybody has got potential and things locked inside of them. I don't look down upon people no matter what you are, no matter how your diagnosis and stuff like that. I love to connect to the core with you. And that has been my source of motivation, connecting to my consumers. Now, one thing that fascinates me and it has always blown my mind is how, you know, I was able to connect to one of the consumers that now it's like his life is all transformed. You know, this consumer, I remember I went to the house and I was trying to connect and have a conversation with him. This guy didn't want to interact. It was very hard to break loose with him. But some point in our conversation, the key word dropped out, which was music. And I started beginning to ask him, what is it about music that you like? He said, I like rapping, you know, Tupac, El Shakur. Do you know, he started mentioning some American rappers' names. And of course, I love music too, and I know them. And so I said, yes, I love music too. And we started talking and said, I love to have my own music one day. And I said, really? It's possible. We can make that happen. And I said, how? And I said, I've always learned to, learn to how to play the keyboard and do some beats and scratches. And I said, what about if I connect you to somebody that can help you to learn how to do that? And he was so happy. And That was the time that we had the connection. And since from there, this guy has been transformed. He goes to 4 days a week. You know, we set up a studio in his house. At the end of it, though, what blew my mind, the mom called me aside and said, "Thank you very much, JP, for this. I never thought my son can get here," you know, and it was a heartfelt thing for me. I really felt cool about it, that somebody's life has been transformed. And I'm so happy to be part of this unique team, you know, to help people come to recover. Getting someone to their passion is the key ingredient to their recovery. And with this, I'll leave you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks, Justice, and great work with your consumers. We look forward to hearing his music. Unfortunately, one of our workers is not here with us today. We would like to acknowledge you and your hard and extensive work with our consumers, Mitra. Hope to see you soon. We will now end our last segment with a collage of photos Sydney took over the few years she was working with her community engagement work. And if you listen closely, you will hear the well-written theme song, Wspir. Thank you.
Inability is not my disability. I'm discovering on my road to recovery.